Trash, all you cyberpunks and retro nerds. It's Tommy the Hammer hanging out with a large group tonight. We've got Amber, BC, Alivia, and the dreaded Dean Down Under over here. And it is Amber's pick tonight. What you got on deck, Amber?
I have Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes, and why did you pick this movie to review tonight?
Because I hadn't seen it, so I have no opinions, which starts out good for me. But, also because, I don't know, it looked like a really good movie, and I figured it would be a possible route.
Yeah, I feel like all of us are really into the prospects of watching this movie. We're all Queen fans here, and we're all flying into this blind except for Alivia, who has seen this in theaters, right?
Yes.
And it was good, right?
It was very good. I liked it.
So the acting is probably good, and of course the music, right? Yeah, that's safe to say. Let's kick off the trailer. Beat that shit. We'll be right back.
What makes Queen any different from all of the other wannabe rock stars?
We're four misfits who don't belong together, playing for other misfits. For the outcasts, we're pretty sure they don't belong either. Queen belongs to them.
Rated PG-13. Okay, so we just got done watching the movie Bohemian Rhapsody. Wait. No, it's not. Okay, so we just got done watching the movie Bohemian Rhapsody.
No! Do you want me to say it?
Yeah.
Can you really not do it?
I don't think I can.
Alright guys, we just got done watching Bohemian Rhapsody. What a movie, you know? It pays a perfect homage to a legendary band and a legendary artist with Queen and Freddie Mercury. I feel like it was kind of like it was exactly what this movie was meant to be. Like this shouldn't have been any other way in my opinion. And this is coming from someone that's like Queen neutral, like I'm not super invested in Queen's music. I respect them. I recognize them as probably one of the greatest bands of all time, but I don't go out of my way to listen to them all the time.
I'm drunk. I couldn't pronounce the title of the movie, but I'm going to say this right now. Queen means a lot to me. My dad introduced me to the band with the records and Freddie Mercury, and growing up, I mean, listening to his music, I mean, me and my brother, we were swept away. I mean, the guy's vocal styles are bar none. No one, can even cast a shadow against Freddie Mercury. I mean, the guy is a dynamo. I mean, he's magnificent. I feel like they took the time. I mean, it was a 2-hour movie. They took the time, to spend on the nuances. At the end of the film, I was actually like swept away in this narrative. I was actually emotionally drawn into these characters and the music, and it gave me a renewed interest in Queen, which is strange because, growing up with Queen, I mean, with classic rock, you get a little jaded with it. You hear it on the radio. You hear about it with old people. You hear about, like, oh, this is the classic, this is the best, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? And you get, you get a little bit, it's a little jaded.
I mean, honestly, yeah, I'm really bad at music. So, like, a lot of the songs I hear it in the movie, and I'm like, oh, that's Queen, okay. Because I never pay attention to who sings what. If I like the song, I like the song. But a lot of songs I was just like, oh, wait, that's Queen? And I'm like, I know this song. I've heard this song 1,000 times. I was like, I had no idea it was Queen. Because I wasn't, just like you said, I wasn't like super invested in Queen or anything, I'm not of that generation, but otherwise I don't really pay attention to who does what, but the movie was great. Like, Rami Malek did a really good job, and you know, for him to wear the teeth that whole time, man, I feel like that just had to hurt his face.
When I watched it in theaters, like I watched it with some friends, and I really didn't have very much expectations. So going to watch it, I was like, yeah, like I know some Queen songs, like this will be interesting. And then like after I watched it, like I listened to Queen for like a month straight, and I was like, I'm like not sick of this yet. Like I loved it, and I thought it was a really good movie. And like even watching the movie, I was like, oh, I like this song. So I'm like, I'm not one to go out of my way to find like songs that I like from bands. And after watching this, I was like, oh, I like that song, I like this song. So it was really interesting. And then I lost my train of thought.
Okay.
Super interesting too. Like, is that the actual band member? Because it looked so similar, like the hairstyles,
Yeah.
like even the clothing styles, everything, like
Spot on.
was spot on, and it was like it kept me engaged the whole time.
Yes.
As this has been my second time seeing it, but like from somebody's point of view who wouldn't necessarily be interested in Queen and has no interest in watching it, and then watching this, it might be a little harder to watch it. But being someone who knows like a couple of their songs, I feel like it would be interesting to watch. But I feel like it's just like a classic because like a lot of people know Queen and like their songs. So it's just, and I like how it ended. Like Tom said, he was like, "Well, I hope it ends like, you know, talking about his death." And I was really satisfied with the end and not it not being like, well, I don't want to spoil anything, but like it not being like him in his deathbed, pretty much like saying, like pretty much saying this is him dying. It's like if you know the story of him, like you know that he dies from AIDS, so it's like at the end you know what's coming. So it's not like, oh, here's him in his deathbed, you're gonna cry at this. It's like you know what's coming, so it's emotional.
What did you think of this film, my friend?
Well, I think a lot of things have been said already, but like, I do really like the movie. I really like the movie.
Did you see the whole movie?
I don't think that Queen was ever really on my map until the movie Wayne's World, and like I realized like, oh,
Go for it.
I'm doing a really bad job right now. Bohemian Rhapsody is like a great song, and like as a little kid, I'm like, what is this even? Like Bohemian Rhapsody.
And for me, I gotta say, this right here is a solid 7 out of 10. Yes.
I don't know. I think it's funny because since I don't really have like a big Queen background or anything, I really like musical type movies. So even though I know the basic gist of Freddie Mercury's background from just, I think it's, if you know his music, it's a little unavoidable to know about him.
Yeah.
But I'm a fan of musical type movies, and I really like this one, and I want to give it a 9.
Ooh, shit! Give it a 9, Olivia.
Because it like really got my attention.
Me too.
And like that ending though, all of us were like super silent and we were just watching it. Like it kind of just, I don't know how it was in the movie theater when you did it, but was it like just pin drop quiet?
Yeah, it was like everybody had like their eyes on the screen.
Yeah, you're just like watching.
And I was
Yeah.
too. And like I'm drunk and I'm like trying to like, honestly, I thought I was choked up.
Yeah, like I could tell that was like one of those moments where like you're just so wrapped in the movie that everyone like stops focusing on anything else and you're just so into it. But
It's
yeah,
good.
that's why I give this a 9.
Olivia, out of 10 stars, where you give it?
I think that this, for me, I don't have any complaints. I'm not like, well, they should have did this or they should have did that. I'm not usually into like musical type movies.
Mhm.
So I guess this could be considered similar to that, but like I think because I know the artist and I like the music, it keeps me more involved because I'm like, oh, I know this song, I know the words of this song, so I'm more involved in it and enjoy it more. And because I don't have any complaints, I would say I give it at least a 9.
Ooh,
almost a 9.5.
You girls.
I feel like it's a classic.
Wowzers. BC,
See?
where you be, McGee?
So when this had originally came out, the bulk of my interest was actually in the actor Rami Malek and not Queen. My Queen story is just like everyone else. It's pretty much like my dad showed me Queen, specifically showed me Bohemian Rhapsody, and the link was somewhat Wayne's World as well, because my dad had dressed up as one of the characters in Wayne's World for Halloween. So that was like my whole thing. And I guess that's topical because it's almost Halloween time. So that's like my story with Queen. And I always thought Queen was a great band. It's just like I just didn't find myself searching to listen to their music all the time.
Sure.
And so yes, I gravitated towards this for the actor. I'm a big fan of Mr. Robot. I think he's great in that.
Yes.
And I think this movie, I can see why he won Best Actor at the Oscars for this film, because it's so opposite of Mr. Robot.
Yeah.
You have this guy, it's a troubled person, that's similar, but in terms of like the bravado and the confidence, like it's a completely different person. And I have watched the Live Aid concert. You can just watch it on YouTube, and like his mannerisms and expressions and like the lip syncing, I mean, he was on it. He didn't. He felt as close to Freddie Mercury as you're gonna get without being Freddie Mercury. So like that was great. But at the same time, like I feel like for me, biopics always they don't really hit me that emotionally. It's like even if I'm invested in the people, like I could watch the Live Aid concert. I'm gonna get that emotional punch, and it's gonna be in 20 minutes instead of 2 hours. And so, there's that type of aspect for me. I feel like I really enjoyed this upon watching it for the first time, but then once again, like I don't think I'd ever revisit it. I think I'm happy with my one experience with it. So, given the performances, given that it is a crowd pleaser, gripes aside, I think I'm gonna go right with you, Tom. I'm gonna go with a 7.
Fair review. Deanie, boy.
Hey.
You like Queen, you're like us. Where you be with the 10 stars, my dude?
Well, I did really love this movie. Like, I know, like, as I was saying it, it was like, Ferd.
No, that was pretty much it.
I was having a very hard time telling anyone about this movie. I'm like, yeah, Ferd. But I love Queen, and I don't know, it's probably a good 8 for me. Give this an 8 count.
Well, fair enough, my friend. That is definitely a fair review. Amber, your pick, I mean, at least for me, I feel like this is a winner. I hope we've been informative to you guys. Until the next time, tune in to Neon Trash!